Hi, welcome to my doll customizing journey. My name is Josephine and these are my creatures. Next in my FNAF series, we are making Chica. She won your votes on my last poll. Turn on your notifications and subscribe to not miss out when I let my audience vote on stuff. I decided to turn this Draculaura doll into Chica. All of my FNAF dolls so far have had a natural skin tone, and I want them to look nice displayed standing next to each other. Draculaura's skin is considered natural in doll customizing circles, even though it is actually light pink. But I think with a little bit of blushing I can make it look really nice. I also chose this specific Draculaura because she has a pigtail hairdo. I want to give my Chica the same hairstyle, so when I reroute her I can just follow the existing holes. I have already cut her hair really short and now I'm removing her factory face-up with pure acetone. I soften her head in boiling water before I remove it. Removing the stubble is oddly satisfying. I created this rough sketch of my idea for her. This is just to clear my head and to see how the different elements would look together, instead of a strict concept drawing. The doll already has a natural skin tone, and like my other FNAF dolls, I want her hair to be a natural color too. These were the natural colors I had in stock. I decided to go with a mix of Lemon Drop and Blond Bombshell. I like to think of my dolls as a mix of both the animatronic and the soul of the child trapped inside. And small kids usually don't have dyed hair. I was really worried if I had enough hair to do this hairstyle, because the part and hairline takes up a lot of hair. Because I had so little hair, I decided to make the part by crisscrossing the plugs. There was no need to fill in the inside areas of the pigtails, so I left it bare. This way the hair also doesn't get too thick. To keep the plugs in place, you need to secure them from the inside with glue. Other artists really like using Fabri-Tac, but in my country it's hard to come by and very expensive, so I just use white PVA glue instead. Just make sure you do not brush it before the glue is completely dry. You also need to be careful when boil washing the hair. I want my doll to have curly pigtails, so I use rubber bands together with pins and straws to curl the hair. To set the curls, you need to alternate between hot and cold water. I let the curls dry overnight before I start unraveling them. Next, we need to protect the hair from the sealant. I just use a piece from an old shirt of mine. I'm gonna start to face up a little bit different this time. I don't have much sealant left at the moment and it takes up to a week to get some more. I start sketching the eyebrows with a yellow pencil. I want her to look quite angry, so the eyebrows are important. I also use white chalk pencil to do the eye whites. For the details in the eyes, I use a pink pencil. This way, if I make a mistake, it's easier to erase or draw over. I shape the lips as well. I add highlights again with my white chalk pencil. Seriously, I love this pencil. Highly recommend it. Now it's time for blush. I really like the result on my Foxy doll, so I'm placing the blush higher on her cheek again. I'm sealing my work at this stage because I want to save it if I make a mistake and I need to erase. This way I am not wiping off the whole eye. I think blue eyes will suit her the best. I added black eyeliner and black pupils to her eyes. Then I started to detail the waterline and lips more. The eyebrows needed a bit more, so I added some white highlights under them and a couple of hair strokes. Don't forget to add the shadow to the eyes. I want the eyes to be even more piercing, so I added a touch of lighter minty blue. This time the eye shines are a line and a dot. Then it's the final coat of sealant. I really like how her face came out. I was worried she would look too much like the puppet, so I'm glad I tried this eye shape on Chica, because it's very different to puppets. I want her to have similar hands to my puppet doll, just a little bit smaller. So I drill holes in her arms for the wires that are going to support the hot glue. After I added the hot glue, I paint the hands black. I added the same lumpy texture to her legs as well. I blushed the body to tone down the pink color of it. I also added freckles both to her body and her face off camera. Next is her little cupcake companion. I can't remember if the cupcake has a name or not. You can comment down below if you know the name. I'm making the cupcake out of polymer clay. After I have baked it according to the instructions on the packaging, I painted with Liquitex Basics acrylic paints. I always try to list the materials I use in the description box below, but feel free to ask me in the comments if you have any questions. To start the work on the dress, I first need to create a pattern for the bodice. I like using this technique that I learned from a cosplay video. After the kitchen wrap and tape version is done, I transfer it to paper and make adjustments. For the sleeves, I follow the shape of a vintage pattern. I trace the patterns onto my fabric. I had this bed sheet that I have not used in years, so I stole a little piece from the corner. Luckily, my boyfriend doesn't change the sheets like ever. I don't want him to know I cut off a corner from the bed sheets for my doll project. Ugh. Then it's just a matter of assembling the pieces. Another good thing about this kitchen wrap tape method is that you really have a good understanding where the pieces go, because in the beginning you have seen all the pieces together. To make the dress look different to Puppet's dress, I pleated the skirt part. This way the shape will be very different. When you are making pleats, it's important to iron them down. I detailed the edge of the dress with lace and lilac ribbon. Here are the pieces to the dress, the sleeves, the bodice and the skirt. Now the dress is almost finished. It just needs a collar and some details, and a closing mechanism. If you are a returning subscriber, then you might know that I don't like Velcro or snaps on my clothing. For this dress, a corseted back would look cute. For the collar, I cover a piece of fabric in matte medium to keep it from fraying and to also make it a bit more stiff. Then it's just a matter of cutting it out, decorating it and sticking it on with some glue. I cut out the words "Let's eat" from this striped knit fabric. I glue them on first to make them stay in place. Then I hand stitch around the letters. To add the sprinkles around the letters, I use different color sewing thread. The backside is quite ugly, so I decided to cover it. The lilac ribbon is great for small straps on the apron. I fold the edges over and stitch them down. She was missing a part of the robotic element of the character, so I added metallic paint quite randomly all over the black parts of her body. I didn't have a nice color orange in my fabric stock, so this time I sculpted the shoes on. And this ballerina shape is the most difficult to do, because there really isn't anything holding the shoe on. So that was the actual reason. This time I remembered to put the magnet in the right place on her forehead. I hid the other one inside of her head and put some paper and glue on top of it so that it would stay in place. I use again air dry clay to make the mask. I didn't bother with armature wire because unlike Foxy, she doesn't have ears or other protruding parts. After it's dry, I sand it quite a bit. I made separate teeth out of magic sculpt and fixed them in place with glue. Then I painted the mask yellow, orange, white and black. I cover the back side with black fabric. I added some holes and dirt to her clothing to add to the horror aspect of her. And now she is done! I am so happy with her. She turned out so cute and creepy at the same time. Just what I wanted. She was really a lot easier to design and make than Foxy. I think female characters are a little bit easier to translate to doll form. What do you guys think? Don't forget to vote on the next doll on this series by clicking the eye in the upper right corner. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet done that and tap the bell while you're at it. Like this video and leave a comment. I would love to know what you think of my Chica. Until next time, bye!